Oh shit. Me go in here like I always gotta do. Woo, 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 woo. The delay is oh shit. Tamika, how you doing, Tamika? What's good, Will? Wait, what the fuck? Oh, okay, it must be okay. Let me shit. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing? Why is it echoing? Oh shit. I gotta figure out this echo, man. I gotta figure out this echo. I've never had an echo before. What is it the what is going on? I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's echoing. I can't do this if it's echo like that. Oh shit. Hold on. Maybe I just need to cut the volume down. Okay. Let me try that. Hey, what about now? Tamika, can you hear me? That's what's up, Will. You know I'm gonna be in the gym when I get off of here. Hey, can y'all hear me? You can hear me? You can still hear me? Can you still hear me? Okay, cool, cool. Okay, got that worked out. I just need to charge my computer. Ah, thank you, Sapphire. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Bye. That's what's up, Sapphire. Hey, where tell me about where you at. Where you at in your journey, Sapphire? What you trying to do? Let's get this party started. Hey, what's up, Adina? What's up, Adina? How you doing? Hey, that's the truth, Will. That's the truth, brother. I ain't even realized that you said all that extra shit. But yeah, that's the truth. This is hell. We are in hell because most people, like on this planet, have a hell consciousness. And so, yeah, this is hell. But, you could create your own paradise in the midst of this hell on earth. That's what I've done. So you see hell all around you. You see the fucking demons, the zombies, all around. They're everywhere, but you can still live in paradise in the midst of all of that and be unaffected by it. So how long have you been striving, Sapphire? What's good, Shamar? Hey, how you doing, Shonda? Hey, Shonda. Are we friends on Facebook? Since December, okay, since December 2023. So where are you at now, Sapphire? Like how you eating now? Like when you when you go back, what are you going back to? Are you going like all the way back, like full back? You know what I'm saying? Like you going back to oh, okay, there you go. You answered. Okay. So do you ever go back to the animal flesh, the dairy, the alcohol? Do you ever go back to any of that? Okay, hey, you know what I wanted to tell you, Sean, is I seen you, I believe that was you that commented on my post, I think in a healthy alternative. It was one of them groups. And I'm not gonna be active in those groups. I always get in trouble in them groups. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna stay out of them because I gotta, I gotta lay low. I gotta lay low while this watermelon washout is going on. I just got off a ban, like from being restricted from posting in groups. It was something like 21 days or some shit like that. I'm just being able to post in groups again today. And that included the watermelon washout. So I couldn't post in there like no group. So I'm not going like at least this is my plan right now. I have no intentions on being active in any of those groups. I'll share my posts from my page to the groups, but I won't be in there engaged with anybody. I'm staying out. That's the plan. So I just wanted to let you know that because yeah. Okay, Sapphire. So you definitely making progress. Yoga. What time is it? Where you at, yoga? Where you at, yoga? It's 9 p.m. here, 9:08 p.m. Yeah, okay. So what are you okay, you said at last check. What all are you struggling with, Sapphire? I seen you said you mentioned chips. Ah, you in Thailand. Okay. You mentioned chips, the red wine, every now and then, like them chips is hard. Is that all you struggling with? Or like when you go back, what are you going back to? Are you only going back to chips and wine? Yeah, I know yoga. Yeah, one of my Facebook friends live in Thailand. What's her name? I don't remember her name right now. But Rawlicious You. I don't know if you're familiar with Rawlicious You, but she live in Thailand. Like I've interviewed with her a few times. Y'all definitely got the fruit. What's up, Jada Cook? Oh, damn. Darius, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Damn, that's it, Sapphire. You doing good. Just chips and wine. Chips is hard. That was that was probably my last thing to go was the chips. That was probably my last thing that I let go. That was probably the hardest thing for me to let go too, was the chips. Yeah, that was tough. And I wasn't even eating like I was eating like the vegan ones, you know. So, but you've come a long way though, Sapphire. You've come a long way. Hey, Will, them was the ones that had me too. Them was the ones that had me too, and they're vegan. Yep. Well, actually, I mean, like that was my favorite, but because it appeared to be the healthiest option, you know. But yeah, like the amount of pleasure and comfort that those fucking chips give you is just off the chart. Like that's a drug for real. That's a drug for real. Yep, Darius. Same, bro. Same, bro. That was that was my toughest battle. That was my toughest battle. That, in fact, that I'm gonna share this. I don't know if you've heard me tell this story before, but the day before I started my watermelon washout last year, literally the night before, I was digging in the trash to fish those chips and guacamole out. I had bought like 3 bags of chips and two containers of guacamole. And I was beating the addiction, you know. So I bought all that. Once the addiction was satisfied, I threw the rest away. I had a, like about a I had I believe I had eaten a whole bag of chips. Or no, I think maybe like a bag and a half or something like that. And I had eaten, I don't remember. I don't even remember exactly, but there was a container of guacamole in there, and I threw it in the trash outside. And this is in the summer. So, guacamole, you need to keep that refrigerated. It goes bad. This was outside in the summer, in the trash, the guac and the chips. And it was in there for 2 days. And the night before the washout, I had came home late. All the stores closed. I got in the house and I'm sitting on the couch and I'm bored. And, you know, this thought just popped up. You got them chips and that guac outside. And I got up off the couch. I had never done anything like this in my life. And I went outside and I dug through the trash and found the chips and the guac. And went back in the house, sat on the couch like I just bought that shit from the store, and cut the TV on, cut some Netflix on, and I'm sitting there and I'm not bored anymore, and I'm eating this shit that I just dug out the trash. And the guacamole was bad, and it wasn't bad, but it was going bad, and the chips were stale. Like they were not fully stale, but they were stale. Yeah, that's what I was doing the night before May 8th when I started my watermelon journey last year. That's how bad I was addicted to them chips and that just that whole combination. Like I didn't even need anything else, but that was just and like it's interesting how much we hate being bored. Like just how hard it is to be bored. And I wonder, like, have you ever thought about that? Like, why is it so hard to be bored? I'm bored. I need something to do. Why is it so hard to just sit still? That's the whole reason. That was one of my, I guess, gripes. Like, being bored was one of my triggers to eat things that I knew I shouldn't be eating. Being bored. Why is that though? Why is that? What is it about bored, being bored, what we call it, that is just so uncomfortable that we hate the way it feels and we can't tolerate it. And so we'll do almost anything just so we're not bored. Have you ever think about that? It's a trigger for probably everybody. For most people, it's a trigger. I used to say this like some years ago, but you have to learn how to be bored. You have to learn how to be bored. And being bored is actually, I'm not sure why it's viewed as such a negative experience and why it's so uncomfortable. It's actually a really beautiful experience, but you have to get to a place to where you can handle it. It can be a really peaceful experience. So much so, like when you like transition over, you get to a point to where there is no such thing of being bored anymore. Like you don't always have to be doing something. You can sit still in your peace and just, dive into self-observation, self-awareness, observing the world around you, wherever you are, even if you're just in your room, you know, just just practicing awareness, just practicing awareness. Like these are all really powerful things that you can do when you're not doing anything. Like, why do we always have to be doing something? And why is it like it's like painful if we're not? It's so uncomfortable, like it hurts, and you can't take it. You know what I'm saying, Jadica? You could use that time to create the life that you envision for yourself. Use that imagination. Your imagination is a superpower. Like you can use your imagination to create whatever experience you want to experience right now. And if you get deep enough into it, you can really experience like no different than if you were physically there. Shit, it might be better, right? Because you can envision it however you want. And if you were physically there, it might not be that great. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a really powerful thing you can like it's really an opportunity for growth and healing, but we run from it. We run from it so fast. So fast. Well, thank you, Jada. I do not eat celery. It's my pleasure, Sapphire. Hey, I know what it is. And it ain't even just you. That's just a tough one. That's a really tough one. There's like several drugs in a bag of chips, or addictive substances. What I like to call them drugs because only drugs are addictive. Only drugs are addictive. Food is not addictive. So I like to call it drugs. And by calling it drugs, this is actually one of the, I guess, tools that I use to help get me free from it. You know, you stop calling them chips, stop calling it food, start calling it drugs. And then you look up some of them chemicals. Look up the ingredient. Like the ones I was getting really only had like 4 or 5 ingredients, but it was enough. You know, you research those ingredients on the ingredients label. You know, you find out what diseases they're linked to, and then every time you look at that bag of chips again, one, you could say those are not chips, those are drugs. Two, it has such and such in it, which increases my risk of getting cancer. And you tell yourself that, like every single time you see it, you feel tempted by it. You're craving it. The best way to beat cravings is with the truth. But you have to take the initiative to tell yourself the truth because nobody else is going to tell it. And you have to, like, nobody else is going to tell it to the degree that you need to hear it. You know, like, it needs to become like a mantra to you. Well, there's times where it needs to be like a mantra where you just say it and repeat it over and over and over again to yourself. You know, the most powerful thing you could do, Sophie, Sapphire, the most powerful thing you could do is learn about what you're really eating because what you're really eating is not chips. There's no such thing of a chip. There's no such thing. You know, if it was a such thing of a chip, you look on the ingredients label and all it would say is chip. It wouldn't say nothing else. But when you look at all the different ingredients on it, what kind of chips do you eat, Sapphire? Maybe we can get into this and see if we can expose some shit. Yeah, Darius. See, the thing is though, what's going on beneath the surface? That's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? What's going on beneath the surface? It's not the fact that you're eating chips and you can't stop eating. It's why. Why? You know, as I was saying, like being bored was a trigger for me. But why? Why was it so uncomfortable for me to just sit still and not do anything? You know, and I don't even know if I really have the answer to that fully, like I would like to know. Um, I also don't feel like I have that problem anymore either, though. But I feel like it's deeper than what I've discovered or what's been revealed to me up to this point. I feel like it's definitely much deeper than what I know about. But I'm not gonna say I don't be bored, but there was a period where I'll say it like this, it doesn't require as much as it used to stimulate me. I'll say it like that, right? It doesn't require as much. You know, like I used to couldn't be stimulated without having sex. That was my preferred method of stimulation, and anything else just fell short. You know, if it wasn't that, the only other thing, like, which is really interesting, but the only other thing that could um stimulate me was just going out to eat, just getting my favorite things to eat or my favorite drugs. That was really the only other thing that could stimulate me to my satisfaction, you know? And so now it requires much, 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 much less, you know? So stimulation isn't a bad thing. It's just, how much do you need? Overindulgence is, of course, anytime you're out of balance, anytime you're out of balance, you know, it's like everybody experiences happiness. Well, I don't know if you ever heard this quote, right? You probably have. The less you need to be happy, the happier you will be, right? And so if you've heard that quote, then, I used to read that. Like I've known of that quote for a lot of years. And I'm just now, like as of recent, like being able to relate to it and agree with it. Like, yeah, that's true. I used to be like, nah, nah, that don't even make no sense. But I get it now. Like I get it. The less you need to be happy, the happier you will be. The less you need for stimulation, the happier you will be. And so it's like I heard KR or what KRS-One say this one time. It's like, how low can you go and still be happy? How little can you live off of and still be happy? You know what I'm saying? And so that's the journey for me anyway. That will become anybody's journey once they reach a certain level of awareness. And you just start letting shit go because you start seeing all these material possessions, all these different things as hindrances or obstacles to your peace. They actually set you up to be stressed, because the more you have, the more you have to take care of. Like I remember realizing this, like, I don't know, some years ago. The more you have, the more you have to take care of, and the more you have to take care of, the less that you have for yourself. You got so much shit, but all that shit needs to be taken care of. Like I got a lot of shit now that I just want to get rid of. I got like in my garage, I got like so many fucking bikes in there. Like, I got two motorcycles, I got a fucking four wheeler, I got two dirt bikes. It's like, and all that shit need to be taken care of, you know. And I don't want to spend my time like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to spend my time like I don't really care about the money, but the time. I don't want to spend my time like that. Constantly taking shit to the shop, constantly making repair. All that. I've tapped into the power of. It's called. I don't know if you've heard of this, but I believe it's the Chinese that call it Wu Wei, and it's the Wu Wei is the practice of well, what Wu Wei means basically is it's like the art of doing nothing, and basically the principle is the busier you are, the unhappier you will be. Because everything's competing for your time, but you need your time more than anything or anyone else. You need your time for you so you can heal, so you can grow, so you can, tap into some self-awareness, learn who you really are. Like you need your time for you, as much of it as possible. And everything's fighting for our time. You go online, everything's competing for your time. Everything's trying to get your time. Everything's trying to get your attention everywhere. And so you have to learn how to really be selective in about what you give your attention to. Because if you're not, you'll find yourself giving your attention to all the wrong things, and everything you're giving your attention to, none of it's helping you. None of it's helping you become a better person. None of it's helping you grow or heal or anything. It just feels good. It's funny. It's entertainment. It's stimulating. It's a distraction. You know, it's maybe distracting you from things that you don't want to face, that you need to face. You I mean, man, like you start realizing the importance of time and just the importance of what you give your attention to. The harder it becomes for just anyone or anything to get your attention. I make these decisions consciously, like all day, every day, like every single whatever it is. You know, is this worth my attention? How do you know if something is worth your attention? Like for me, is this gonna help me get to where I want to go? Is this supporting my goals? Is this supporting the person I want to, you know? So, but there's I don't know. I got off track. Well, I ain't gonna say I got off track, but I definitely didn't intend on saying all that. But the point is, there's a lot going on underneath the surface. Why that's responsible for why you're eating things that you know part of you don't want to eat. And so you gotta start doing some digging. You gotta start doing some digging, find out what's really going on. The issue is not what you're eating, it's why. It's why. You know what I'm saying? Your possessions end up possessing you. That's a fucking fact. That is a fucking fact. Hey, what's up, Rose? How you doing, Queen Saying? Yeah, there we are used to constant stimulation, but why? Why? It serves as a distraction. All it is, these are distractions. We're um used to distracting ourselves from things that are going on inside of us that we need to confront, that we don't want to. We're used to escaping. We're used to running. Yeah, hey, that's a fact, Sapphire. That's a fact. You start tapping into self. Look, like my journey, like into self awareness, man. There's, I mean, so many things that I had to look at about me, and that I didn't want to look at, didn't want to accept. It was just emotionally painful. Um, and the interesting thing is with healing comes perspective shifts, and with that, everything that I didn't like about myself, I love about myself. And so it really is just, you know, it's our opinions that's hurting us in so many ways. It's just our opinion, because what makes it hard for us to sit with ourselves is the truth. None of it is the truth. Man, I wish I could just like work with like whoever needed, like just sit one on one and just dive deep into like what's going on with you and tell you exactly what's going on. I wish I could do that every single person, like just one on one. Okay, like let's go. Full transparency, full vulnerability. What the fuck is going on? And show you what's really going on. Because it's the deceptions that we're suffering. It's the deceptions. It's our belief or our faith in the deceptions that cause us our suffering. What's up, LaBash? Swerve, what's good, brother? You know what? You know, I just, I just live by that law of nature that whatever you eat, you're supposed to eat in its natural state. If you cannot eat it in its natural state, like I mean, like eat it and enjoy it in its natural state, then you shouldn't be eating it. That's the rule. That's the law of nature that I follow that governs and guides how I, that's it. If I personally, I mean, like to me, like vegetables could never compare to fruit. They could never, like it's not even close. Like for me, it don't even make sense to eat vegetables. Like I would never choose a vegetable over a fruit. That just don't make sense to me. But I'm not gonna, you know, say anything, against those because I've talked to people that do like vegetables in their raw natural state. Like they eat them and enjoy it raw, just one thing at a time. So I mean, at the end of the day, it still comes from nature. It's not man-made, like, man, it's not processed, it's not standard American diet, you know. Whatever you can eat and enjoy in its natural state, you know what I'm saying? That's nature's law that governs how every species to have ever existed eats. Every species follows that same law, except for humans. My ebook has just been published. My ebook has just been published. Man, y'all are fucking. I can't keep up with y'all this evening in the comments. Hey Rose, that's what you got going on, Rose? Did you talk about what you fell into temptation? What happened, Rose? If if you want to share, if you don't even worry about it. Oh, hold up, I'm seeing you in the comment. You smoked, man. I'm so far behind in the comments. Where can you purchase? Hold up. I'm gonna give you a couple options because uh shit. I gotta see. I gotta see. Um because I'm thinking if you purchase it through me, it's gonna be a little cheaper than if you buy it through Amazon. Oh, okay. It's not live yet. It's not live yet. So that'll give me some time. Let me see what it say. The ebook will be live on Amazon within 24 hours and Ngram Spark 2 to 3 days. So it's like you can't even get it yet. Hey, that's part of the journey, Queen. That's part of the journey. The book is called Overcoming Addiction, which is what we're talking about this evening. This is what like everybody's talking about. Thank you, thank you, people, for the congratulations. I appreciate you. That's what it's looking like. I don't know if it's gonna pick it up. It's a little blurry, but that's what it's looking like. Watermelon bathroom break. Woo! Hey, that's funny, Sapphire. Hurry up and buy. Hurry up and buy. Hurry up and buy. Hey, that's a good move, Queen Saya. That's a good move. Like, I don't know if you realize how powerful that is, what you're doing, but it's really powerful. And not just, you know, um, because you watch my videos, um, but by you cutting out the TV and just watching videos, let's just say my videos, right? Um, you're planting seed. Like you're planting seed constantly. When them seeds start to sprout, Like this lifestyle is gonna be effortless for you. Like that's the way you approach it. Like people approach like everything really all wrong. You know, all you need to do, like y'all been in here talking about the shit that y'all been eating and how you've been falling off and everything, but what exactly, like, how are you fighting back? What Queen Saya is doing is a really great example of how to fight back and how to win your battles against the cravings, the temptations, everything. It's all about, you know, what you feed your body is the result of what you feed your mind. So if you find yourself like you slipping, you going back into, you know, the first thing you got to understand is you're not slipping, you're not messing up, you didn't make a mistake. Like you wanted to do that. You wanted to do it. That's why you did it. So you still have some reprogramming of the mind to do. That's what that should reveal to you. You still got work to do up here. And so you should be feeding this as much as you can, like feeding this as much fruit related content as you can. That's how you win the battle against the flesh. You fight it in the spirit. And what you feed this is how you fight in the spirit. Your whole spiritual world, the spiritual world that we talk about is here. It's what we call the mind. That's where it's at. This is where you win the battle over the flesh. So, you know, you ate some shit, you wanted to be, you know, just eat fruit, you ate some shit that's not fruit, you started smoking, or you had a smoke or whatever, blah, blah, blah. That is just showing you that you are not where you thought you were, and you still have more work to do. And the work you have to do is here. Just keep feeding this right here. Fruit related content. Watch my videos, watch Bobby Smith's videos. People that are talking about fruit, watch their videos. That's the easy part. The harder part is how Queen says that she don't even watch TV no more. The harder part is cutting shit off, letting shit go. So there's a lot of shit that you probably watch that you don't need to watch no more. There's probably a lot of shit that you listen to that you shouldn't be listening. You know, it's probably people that you still hang around that you shouldn't be hanging around no more. You know, you may still be going places that you shouldn't be going no more. That's the harder part. The harder part is the elimination of those things that are serving as obstacles on your path. You know, letting that TV go, that's huge. That's huge. That's a huge step in the right direction. Because that's a whole that whole TV, that's just a program box. That's why they call it television programming. Programming, because they are programming your mind through what comes on that television. Whatever it is, whatever you're watching, anytime you watch something, listen to something, you are programming your mind. So if you were to be like really intentional and deliberate and proactive and even aggressive about feeding your mind fruit related content, like obsessively. you will begin to change effortlessly. You just start getting to a point you just don't want the shit no more. Like, I don't even want it. See, like y'all are trying to stop eating things that you still want to eat. That's not the way you do it. Like I'm where I'm at now, like I don't want to eat this shit no more. Like all I want to eat is fruit. I don't want to eat nothing else. That's why it's effortless. Like it's easy. Like it ain't shit. There's no struggle because I don't. Nothing is competing with fruit in my life. Like my perspective, nothing can compare to fruit. Nothing. I don't even want it. Like if it ain't fruit, I don't even want it. You know, I was in the food. I was at the mall today. Me and my son went to the mall. I had a job at a mall, and where I parked at, no, I didn't have to walk through the food court, but I had to use the bathroom. And the only bathroom I knew was in what they call a food court. And so I went like this. Just like this, all the way through the food court till I got in the bathroom and I pulled this down. And as soon as I came out, I did this, and I come out the bathroom. And this is what spiritual warfare. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit be swelling. I can't look at it because it look good. And if I was to look at that shit, it would probably produce feelings immediately. And then once, you know, when you start dealing with feelings or emotions, when there's like an emotional attachment, that's just hard to fight. That is hard to beat. It's easier just to not look at this shit at all and never get to that point of feelings or emotions being stirred up. You know what I'm saying? So like these things are part of the journey. There's a lot of shit that I can't even look at. How Queen said talking about she got rid of the TV. She don't even watch TV no more. I can't go through a food court, which I would call a drug court, in the mall and look at nothing in there. I can't look at nothing. That's part of this journey. That's part of this lifestyle. That's how you fight back. It's 24/7. It's a whole lot of shit out in the world that I cannot look at. There's restaurants I can't look at. I can't look at none of them. And by that I mean like if I do, it's gonna stir some shit up inside of me, and it has the potential for creating temptation. Like the reason I don't struggle or have temptations or cravings anymore is not just solely because of my watermelon journey. It's because I know how to navigate this lifestyle a lot better than I did before. It's because I know how to shut off the potential for any possibility of temptation. Like I don't even allow it to get its little fucking toe in the door by looking at the shit. If I smell it, I don't even give it an opportunity. I'm that fucking vigilant because to get to this point of being like drug free, like addiction was a journey that I don't want to go on again. I'm not into repeating journeys. You complete a journey, you move on to the next one. Okay. Yeah. Am I charged? Okay, I'm charged. You know what I'm saying? You repeat a journey, you move on to the next journey. I'm not fucking, I mean, you complete a journey. I'm not repeating journeys. Like people that they fucking lose weight and then put it all back on again. Like, fuck that. Like, what the fuck you lose the weight for in the first place? If you just gonna put it all back on. Like, I learned a lot about myself, like on my weight loss journey, but it was not an enjoyable journey. Fuck, I'm not doing that again. I'm addiction free. Like the first year that I ate nothing but fruit was a struggle. It was a struggle because I was dealing with addictions. I didn't even know. I didn't even know I had addictions. I didn't even know I was an emotional eater. There was so much that that first year revealed to me about me that I wasn't aware of. And so the process of dealing with all those things, like all the shadow work I had to do, like just that whole process, you know, I'm not doing that shit again. You know what I'm saying? Like it took, it required a lot of effort for me to get to this point, and mostly because I was doing it by myself. I didn't have help. Like I didn't have anybody like, coaching me, mentoring me that had already been on this journey before and can tell me what's coming up ahead, can tell me what to expect, the pitfalls that could just give me words of wisdom. Like when you go out to the store, don't do this, don't do that, don't look at that, don't. I didn't have none of that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm free now. I'm free. I'm not going back to to being a slave to addiction. I'm just not. I'm willing to do whatever the fuck it takes to stay free. Once you get free, like the battle's not over. The battle's not over. Like once you get free, you gotta like fight for your freedom. Like every day, you're fighting for your freedom every single day. It's just like once you lose the weight, the journey's not over. Now you gotta keep it off. People think the journey's over because they reached their goal and they put it all back on. Maybe even more. I feel like it's raining right now, and I'm just feeling like my windows are down on my truck. I don't even think I pulled my truck in the garage. Hold on, I gotta check. Yep, yep, I sure did. It's fucking thunderstorm in here too. Fucking thunderstorm. Hey, that's that healing process, Queen saying. Hey, I appreciate that, Dylan. Look at what Dylan said. That's dope. You know, I've been getting messages like that like all day. Like that's so dope. That's so dope. My workouts, um, it changes up. Uh, I've been starting to do more weights a little bit. I think I'm starting to do more weights. It might be a little too early to say that, but primarily I do like body weight movements. So just to give you an example, what is today? Today is Wednesday. So Monday was my chest day. So Monday my workout was uh, push-ups, like flat push-ups, incline and decline push-ups, um, and going to like as many as possible. After that, I did some core work, bicycle crunches, and then I do like some mobility because this shoulder right here, I don't know what's going on. Something going on with this shoulder right here. So I do like mobility movements to loosen this shoulder up. That was Monday. Yesterday was legs. So still with the body weight. I did squats. Uh, I did squats. I did calf stretches, calf raises, more core work, bicycle crunches, um, and more like shoulder mobility and stretching. I like incorporating stretching too. Um, Today is gonna be back. I'm gonna do back today, and I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna do today. I won't go till I get in there, but that's pretty much what I do. But it's like it's always switching up though. It's always switching up. What's good, Tara? Tara Incognita. Now we getting to some getting to the truth, Sapphire. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. And see, this is this is the very thing I be talking about. This is the very thing I be talking about. This is why like this lifestyle of eating fruit, like that's the surface. That's what's on the surface. You know what I'm saying? Like it's interesting that you just had that experience, Sapphire, because my mother was just in the hospital yesterday. Your father went to hospice yesterday. My mother was in the hospital having surgery yesterday. And these are the types of things that see, like this is truly a spiritual experience. Like the ability to eat fruit and like consistently eat fruit and not be derailed by anything. Like to be consistent on fruit through whatever comes, whatever goes, whatever happens, whatever. Like when life is life. That's what this is about. That's the place you have to get to. That's the place you have to get to. That's what this watermelon washout is going to teach you how to do. You have to be able to weather the storms in your life and be consistent through those things. And that's all about perspective. It all comes down to the amount of truth that you're living by, the amount of truth that you're aware of and living. This is a spiritual experience. This entire life is spiritual. And so we had like very similar situations. It was similar to some, maybe not similar, but to some degree, right? Your dad went in the hospice. My mom was in the hospital having surgery, you know, and it just didn't bother me. Like it didn't affect me, it didn't move me, like nothing. You know, I was there. You know, I didn't stay for the whole surgery, but I went. I was there. You know, it never feels good to see someone you care about in the hospital. You know, um, I'm just at a place spiritually. Like I know how to navigate. Like honestly, like the place I'm at spiritually, I don't even have storms no more. You know, like storms is really just a perspective. It's a mentality. And my perspective or my mentality, you know, my awareness has transcended above that to where I don't have storms anymore. You know, I don't have bad days. I don't have bad moments. Like these are all like the fruits of perspective shifts. And these perspective shifts are all based on the awareness of different truths that were revealed to me. Like I don't deal with stress no more. I don't deal with depression. Like I don't deal with anything. I don't deal with the only thing I deal with now is what I want to deal with. You know, if I feel like if I'm feeling something I don't want to feel, I know how to change it. And so just like getting to this place is a journey in and of itself. You have to be there because just imagine, like you could be like 2 years on fruit, and you know it could have been like 2 really great years of your life, and then shit start hitting the thing. Like you have to be prepared for those times because they're gonna come. They're absolutely gonna come. And if you're not strong enough to weather these storms, you're not gonna last. You'll never be consistent. You know, your strength is weak, you know. So woo, man, it's about to cut up outside. I don't know if that made sense to anybody. I hope that made sense to somebody. But no. Okay, so hey, thank you, Angela. What's good, Angela? So Rose said I have to learn to sit with my storm and become the I. Go higher than that. You have to change your perspective to where you don't even see a storm anymore. You have to understand that everything in your life, everything is always working together for your good. You have to get to that point to where you know that everything is always happening for your highest good. Everything, regardless of what it is. You get to the point to where you know that you will never have another storm again. You will never be stressed out again. You will never be depressed or discouraged or feel hopeless or none of that ever again. And it's just that simple. Now, the journey getting to that point is a different story. But that's the journey, that's the destination you should be striving to reach. Knowing that everything is always working for your highest good. Everything that happens in your life is an opportunity for you to grow and heal and get better. Everything, everything, 100%, regardless of what it is. You get to that point, you will never have a bad fucking day again in your life. it will be impossible for your peace to be disturbed when you know that. You got to get to the point where you know it. There's nothing complicated about what I said. Anyone could understand that. But you have to know. You have to know it. And the only way you know that you know it is when life starts lifing and you still have that awareness present with you and you fully accept it and embrace it. Your response to what we call storms, your response is this. And so I know this is working something for my good. I don't know what it is. I don't understand it, but in some in some kind of way, this is here to benefit me. This is here to make me better. This is an opportunity for growth, to level up, to go higher, to be better, do better, have better. You have to learn how to see the good in everything, right? So, like, no situation, there is there is no situation that is all bad. Like every situation you will ever experience in life is a combination. You could say it like it's a combination of light and darkness, meaning there's a bad in it that you could focus on, or there's a good in it that you can focus on. You choose which you focus on, but both are there simultaneously, and whatever you choose is going to create your experience. That did that make sense? Like if you choose to focus on the negative or what you perceive as the negative in a situation, then that is going to dictate your experience. You are going to have a negative experience because you are choosing to focus on the negative. But there is also positive in that same situation. Now, if you choose to focus on the positive, then you are going to have a positive experience. The choice is yours. You have to know, no matter what it looks like on the surface, that there is good in this too. No matter how bad it looks to you or feel to you, you have to know there is good in here somewhere too. And if you don't see it, then you just have to trust and know that it's there because it's a law of the universe. It's a law of universe. It's the law of balance. Wherever there's light, there's darkness. You have a up, you have a down. You have a hot, you have a cold. You have good, you have evil, positive, negative. And I don't know, it's the balance that makes these things work. Like think about a battery. Like your car battery or any battery would not work if it was just all positive polarity. It wouldn't work. You need both polarities. You need positive and negative in order for that battery to give power. Right? So it's there. You just have to make a decision that even if you don't see it, you trust it. You know that to be true. Like it's proven like over and over and over again, time and time and time and time again. Like nature proves this. This is a law. It's just like the law of gravity. It never fails. Whatever you're going through, no matter how bad you think it is, there's good in there too. Trust that. Trust that. And then look for it. Trust it and look for it. You're not even going to look for it if you don't trust it. If you don't trust that law, then you're not even going to look for the good and you'll never find it. But if you trust it, if you can trust that law enough to say, okay, I'm gonna look for the good. What could possibly be the good in this situation? And you just start breaking it down, analyzing, just looking at that shit with my and just searching for the good. You search for the good, then you will eventually find it. And then when you find it, you focus your attention on that. You focus your energy on that. And when you focus on the good gets better. And what I mean by that is you may only find one situation, like one thing in that situation that's good. But the more you focus on the good, you will find another thing about that situation that's good. And you'll find something else that's good. And you'll find something else that's good. The good just begins to multiply the more you focus on it. You become aware of more of the good when you focus on the good. And it works in reverse too. If you focus on what you perceive to be the bad, then that's gonna multiply too. You'll be like, yeah, this is bad because of this. Oh, and then there's this too. Oh, and then there's this too. And then there's this too. So you have to learn how to navigate situations like this. Now, see, like where I'm at, I I don't see bad, and I'm so focused on the good I'm not able to see the bad or the negative in anything. I'm just not able to see it. You understand? Like I can't see it. If you come to me and tell me something negative, I'm gonna tell you something positive. That's just where I'm at. That's all I see. That's all I see. Like I like last year, I don't know, you may like I've shared this story on live with Bobby. Um, and I was talking about how last year, most of that year, I was I was dealing with the potential of an eviction. And actually, it wasn't just last year. It was last year up to like August, but it was 2022 also. I was living in a house and just the threat of eviction was like constantly over my head. Like I mean, I'm getting letters and all kind of shit. Phone calls, emails, threats, all kind of shit. And even when thinking about the very real potential of being homeless, at least temporarily homeless, I wouldn't have been permanently homeless, but being temporarily homeless, which I mean, shit, ain't like, that's not better really. But even thinking about that, I was able to find good in it. I was able to find good in the thought that was up here trying to create fear, trying to get me operating in fear. I was able to take that thought and find good in it and even be excited about it. Like I was able to become excited about being homeless because I found good in being homeless. All I'm saying, you could do this with any situation. Like it's impossible for me to have. I'm not gonna say it's impossible. It feel that way though. Like it just feels like it's impossible for me to have a bad day because no matter what happened, like my response is gonna be, there is something good in here for me somewhere. I don't know what it is, but this is working for my highest good. This is this is here to serve me. This isn't here to hurt me or destroy me or ruin me. This is here to help me evolve. This is here to help me level up. You know what I'm saying? This is here to put more money in my pocket. This is here to make me a better person. This is here to help raise my vibration even higher. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't see it any other way. I see everything as an opportunity to get better. Everything is an opportunity. And the harder something is to deal with, say like the harder or the more challenging the situation is, the greater the potential and opportunity for growth. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. I can't see it any other way. Like I've reprogrammed my mind so much so like I just can't see negative. So, like it's impossible. Like I feel that way. I really feel that way. I mean, of course, like, I definitely I'm I believe that there's some shit that could happen that could really fuck me up. Like I believe that. Like it would be really, really hard for me to apply these things that I'm sharing with you now. But simultaneously, nothing when will come into your life that is too much for you to bear. Meaning you're not gonna have some like advanced level shit approaching you on the level that you're on. So whatever happens in your life at the level you're on, you can handle. You can handle it. It's level appropriate, you know. So yeah. Let me see if anybody got anything to say in Instagram. I am not a fan of avocado. What do you recommend as a fat source as a fruitarian? If you don't like I love avocado. You don't like avocado, nuts. Nuts are a great fat source. Um, durian. Durian is another one. And I believe I'm tapped out on those two. I probably have to think for a while to come up with something else. But as far as fruits that you can eat raw in their natural state, nuts and durian. And just with nuts, I mean, you got a lot of options. You got a lot of options there. So, hey, I have never had bamboo water. I have never heard of bamboo water. Never heard of bamboo water. Angela, you know what? I feel like you've experienced such a small percentage of the watermelon in your area that that's not even an accurate statement. You basically just said all the watermelon that you get there tastes bad, and most of it is rotten or overripe. Is rotten overripe. Canada, in Canada. So you literally just said all the watermelon in Canada is bad. That shit don't even make no sense. You can't say that. How can you say that? Like I guarantee you have not even had 1% of the watermelon in Canada. You haven't even had half of a percent of the watermelon available in Canada. Like you can't say that. The only way you can say I don't need a picture, the only way that okay, I don't know what BC is or where that's at, But still, the only way you can say that the watermelon you get there tastes bad, most is rotten overripe, is if you've had all the watermelon there and you haven't. You've been to every store, every market, every place that sells watermelon, and they're all bad, then you can say it. Well, I don't know what stores are available to you. Like, I don't even know what that means. Availability could vary. Like, if you have a car, then everything's available. If you do not have a vehicle, then you have like many, like much less options, which that didn't sound, much less options didn't really sound right. But you know what I mean. You don't have as many options if you don't have a car as somebody that do. If you do have a car, then the options are like virtually limited. No, no, that's not what she's saying, Rose. BC is like a, I don't know, like a city in Canada. Hey, Labash, I ain't even get to comment on your comment that I pinned because I just saw the first line and I just pinned it. But that's that shit right there. Like you never know. Like you have to be ready. Like when you know when things happen, that's not the time to try to get ready. So many people try to get ready, like in the storm. And they try to get ready. You know, you need to be ready. You should always be in preparation mode. You should always be getting ready because it's just a matter of time before something comes knocking on your door. It's just a matter of time, and you have no idea what that is, right? But you don't prepare for a storm in the storm. You know a storm is coming. You prepare before it comes. That could mean taking the umbrella out the house with you. That could mean just staying in the house. That could mean like changing your plans. Yeah, it's storming. I'm just gonna stay in. But you prepare before the storm. And like so many people, when it comes to life, life is going good and everything, and they just feel like seasons don't change. Like they just, it's like that. I don't understand like that logic. When seasons change. It's when things are going great. That's the best time to prepare for a change in the seasons. It's the easiest time to prepare because life is great. Like, it's hard to be encouraged when you're in the storm. It's hard to be encouraged, like when you really in your feelings and you're not seeing any hope. It's hard to be encouraged in, but when things are good, it's easy to be encouraged. It's easy to be inspired when things are good. That's the time you prepare. I stay in preparation. I stay in preparation. Like that's a principle I've been living by for like fucking decades. Stay ready. I'm always preparing for battle. I am always preparing for battle. Because this is just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Ah, so BC is British Columbia. Okay. I always have clarity. Always, which is an interesting word. I don't know, but always. Like, what's the opposite of clarity? Well, no, you know what? I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say I always have clarity. No, I don't. I don't. Because there's still things that I don't know. Like, no one always has clarity. Like, there's still things like I still find myself in situations and I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know the next step, right? It's in those moments that I just say to myself, everything is working for my highest good. I just either know that to be true or I trust it to be true. You know, when you know it, you don't have to trust it. You know, when you trust it, when you make a choice to trust it, it's like you don't fully know it, but you're making a choice to I'm gonna trust anyway, and my actions are gonna be in alignment with me trusting this. You know what I'm saying? But no, no one always has clarity. No one always has clarity. Like shit, you wouldn't be in a body if you always had like sheesh. Yeah, there's a lot of times there's times where I don't know what to do. You know, and that makes life exciting to me. Like a lot of you know, there's things I've been seeking answers for that I don't have answers yet. Like there's things I've been seeking answers for that I've been, just wanting truth, to be revealed to me, and it hasn't happened yet. And I'm talking like for years, and I still don't have. It's like what the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Um, what I can say is in most things. Like my clarity is much my level of clarity is much, much higher than my level of confusion. And it depends on exactly like when you say I always have clarity, it depends on what like there's areas. I don't have clarity in all areas of life. The areas that I do have clarity on, I always have clarity. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm thinking about your question as I'm talking. That's That is an interesting question. Like, I started answering that question with, "Yeah, I always have clarity." And then, like, as I'm thinking about it, as I'm talking, I'm like, "Hold up, wait, no, I don't." Like, to say you always have clarity would be like to say you always have answers for everything. You always know exactly what to do. You know what I mean? Nobody's there. Nobody always knows exactly what to do. There are moments where you're at, like, a fork in the road. Do I go to the left or to the right? Do I do this or do I not? Do I say this or do I not say it? You know what I mean? I don't know if that made sense to anybody, but yeah, Angela, I really don't feel like I know how to pick watermelon. I really don't feel like I know how to pick watermelon. Like there's things that I look for, but there have been times where I've purchased watermelon that didn't have none of the characteristics that I look for, and it was really, really good. Like even some of the best watermelon I've ever Like, it didn't have, like, the sweet spots on it. It didn't have the yellow belly. Like, if I like, thump on it, like, it's not sounding hollow, and it was some of the best watermelon I had. And then there's been times where I've purchased watermelon that did have the characteristics that I thought made a great watermelon, and it wasn't great at all, you know. So I don't feel like I'm an expert at picking watermelon, not at all. Honestly, like I really don't even like I don't even spend a lot of time studying a watermelon before I buy it. I'm not like flipping it and looking at it and doing a whole lot of that. I'm basically picking that bitch up and I like spin it once. I'm either putting it in my cart or I'm putting it back. What's good, Zach? Hey, what's up, Angelina? What made me want to be a fruitarian? Um, it's a couple things. One, oh, it's coming down. Um, One is I started learning about the things that I was eating. I started reading the labels on everything I was eating and drinking and researching what I was putting in my body and discovered that everything I was eating man-made had something in it that increased my risk of getting some sort of disease. Everything, like no exceptions. Like there was nothing man-made, even the so-called healthy stuff, the vegan stuff, the best of the best with the best ingredients, the fewest amount of ingredients, everything I was even things like beef jerky, which the beef jerky I was getting would just say one ingredient. Like you looked on the back and said beef jerky. Even things like that, even the few like single ingredient things I was consuming all increased my chances of getting some sort of disease, like life-threatening diseases, like cancer and heart disease and diabetes, right? So, that's one thing that like that got me on the path to eating fruit, you know. Um, but I feel like even bigger than that is I had reached the point in my spiritual journey, like I had this experience in my kitchen, and it's a different house than I'm in now. And I just had this inner experience where I was made aware of the fact that I was at a fork in the road. And if I wanted to keep growing spiritually, I had to get onto an all fruit diet. And if I didn't, I could stay where I was at. And I wanted to keep growing spiritually. So that's what really got me going in the direction of all fruit. Like before that, I was just, you know, um, making better choices, concerning what I was eating, and I was starting to eat fruit already, but I had never, um, like planned on just eating only fruit from what I remember. Like that was never a thought, like to eat just fruit. And then when I had that experience that let me know that if I wanted to continue growing, that I would have to get on all fruit, like I would have to eat just fruit, then that's what like gave me that push in that direction. Because I had went as far as I could go, eating the way I was eating, like spiritually speaking. I had went as far as I could go, eating the way I was eating. So, you know, and that's my spiritual journey. Like it's such a big, like it's everything. Like it's everything. It is my life. You know, so that's really what you know got me going on this. Everything good, Zach. I appreciate you asking, brother. Hey Dylan, I eat like because I'm eating watermelon now. Like just watermelon. Uh, I'm not gonna eat no more this evening, and I don't know when the last time I had like I don't know when I stopped eating water, like when I had my last piece of watermelon. But I'm done because you know when you just eat watermelon, like my experience anyway, if I eat late, then like I'm up a lot. Like I'm waking up out of my sleep a lot to go use the bathroom. And, I'm wanting to avoid that. So I have cutoff time. Like I don't have like an official cutoff time for watermelon, but like I'm just looking at the clock now, like, yeah, you done, you know. Um, but yeah, like when I'm not just eating watermelon, like when I'm eating whatever fruit I want to eat, I don't have a cutoff time at all. It'd be 2, 3 in the morning. If I'm up and I'm not feeling like I'm gonna be going to sleep anytime soon, I'll eat. I eat whenever. Hey Angela, uh Flame City on Instagram is saying BC is known for good fruit. Okay, so once I say everything is working for my highest good, do I do I make a next move or just relax until you feel called to move? Yeah, I don't do anything I don't feel like called to do, like or inspired to do. Well, I'm not gonna say I don't do anything, right? Because I'm not waiting to feel something in here before I like take a shit, right? Before I wipe my ass, do I feel called to wipe my ass yet? Like it's not that. So obviously, like there's a lot of shit that I do that I don't have to feel like inspired or called to do, right? But like in that scenario, I just like I don't even think about it. I don't even think about it. You know, um, when it's time for me to move, the move I need to make will be revealed to me. It will be told to me in some kind of way. Like I don't trust. I know that, right? And so the only way you could really notice, like you have to like detach from expectations. Like we have so many expectations, and we could be in a situation and we could do something that we feel that we were inspired to do, that we could feel like what we feel like intuition guided us to do, right? And then we don't get the desired outcome. If the result doesn't match our expectation, we could feel like we made a mistake or we did something wrong or your intuition didn't tell you to do that, right? And that just creates confusion, you know. So with everything, like you have to understand, oh man, you have to understand like it's impossible for you to make a mistake, right? Because everything like this, everything has already been written. We're playing out scripts. You know what I mean? Like who said that? I think it was Bobby that like pointed this out and made me aware of it. Just I don't know, just like a regular conversation. But he pointed out the word script in the word scripture, right? And so life is really like a movie. Life is just like a movie. And a movie, everything that happens in a movie has already been written. It's already been written. And the writer of the movie knows everything that's gonna happen. Nothing catches the writer off guard. You know what I'm saying? Because the writer knows it. The writer wrote it. It's his movie or her movie. You understand what I'm saying? Life is the same way. Like one, there's no such thing as time. Like we're living in eternity right now. Time is a man-made construct. Everything is right now, right? And everything has already been written. It's all written. It's impossible for you to make a mistake. Like this is a truth that gives me so much peace. This gives me so much peace because I've accumulated enough truth on this, like enough supporting truths on this one truth that I understand that it's impossible for it to be any other way. Because of that, I know this to be true. It is impossible for you to make a mistake. It's impossible. Everything did you were supposed to do. Everything. 100%. You know, to put this in like a religious connotation, right? God knows the end from the beginning, right? God knows the end from the beginning because there is no end or beginning. There is no time. Plus, God wrote the script. God wrote the script. God is the writer of this movie. God knows exactly what's going to happen. Everything you do, you were supposed to do. It's impossible for you to make a mistake. It's impossible. The only reason you feel like you make mistakes is because that's what you believe. And so that becomes your reality. It's a lie. It's impossible. And so, like, knowing that really makes you, man, like really carefree. Like I mean, like I said, it produces so much peace. So much peace. It eliminates the overthinking, stressing to make a decision. Like it can even make life fun. Because there's things I've approached like, fuck it, let's do this, see what happens. I can't make a mistake. Whatever I do, I'm supposed to do. So fuck it, I'm gonna do this. And just to see how it turned out. Just to see how shit turned out. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't stress over it. I don't stress over anything. You know, and that's one of the reasons. It's the awareness of this truth that I'm sharing with y'all. You know, like if God is all knowing, right? Like a lot of people, you know, like that's just the language that a lot of people use. If God is all knowing, what you tripping for, right? If God is all knowing, then whatever you did, God knew you was gonna do before you were even born. You're the only one caught off guard by it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, this makes sense to anybody? So it's just like, why you tripping? Like when you know these things, you have to know them. People go to church and they hear this same thing, like said this same way all the time. God is all knowing. God is all knowing. Like everybody has heard that before, that God is all knowing. But nobody believes it, or nobody knows that to be true. No one knows that to be true. You hear it, people agree with it, yeah, 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 amen, hallelujah, but they don't know that to be true. Because when they find themselves in a situation that they don't understand and it's uncomfortable, then they let all that shit go. All that religion flies out the fucking window. All of it disappears. And that's why, believing things is pointless. You have to know. You have to know. And when you get to the point of knowing the truth, that's when it sets you free. Not like believing truth don't set nobody free. You have to know it. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. That's a scripture. What about hemp seeds? Go back to that law of nature. If you can eat it and enjoy it in its natural state, then there you go. If you can eat it and enjoy it in its natural state, like I like pumpkin seeds, I can eat them and enjoy them in their natural state. Can you eat hemp seeds? Like eat them and enjoy them in their natural state? Like you're not eating them and suffering the whole time? Like you really enjoy eating hemp seeds in their natural state? That's the question you always have to ask yourself. Anytime you have a question about what you're eating or whether you should eat it, just ask yourself that question back. Can I eat it and enjoy it in its natural state? Or if I ate this, would I enjoy it in its natural state? If the answer is yes, eat it. If the answer is no, don't. That's it. Like you see how simple that is? Another way to say this is if you like it, then eat it. If you don't, then don't. If you like the way it tastes, then eat it. If you don't, don't. Like don't try to make it taste good so you can eat it. If it's good, eat it. If it's nasty, like this is really how simple it is. If it's good, eat it. If it's nasty, don't. Now, if it's nasty, don't make it good and then eat it. And that's what most of society does. Everything they're eating is some nasty ass shit that somebody made taste good. They just kept adding shit to it until they made it taste good. And that's what most people are eating. Hey, that's true, Scott. That's true. I mean, to some, yeah. I mean, the wording is a little different than I would use, like some of the wording, but yeah, that's true though. Y'all getting into some deep things. Choice is an illusion. Choice is an illusion, but this whole life is an illusion. This entire life is an illusion. You are an illusion. I am an illusion. Everything in this physical realm is an illusion because there's only one, and there's one manifesting itself in a gazillion, gabillion, quadrillion different ways. There's always there has only always been one. There will always only be one. There's only one. There's one taking on all these different forms and identities. That's all it is. Everything is just even with like the fact that we think that we exist is an illusion. We are just a character in a movie. It's just like in a movie. You're watching a movie, you get attached to the characters. You know, you have a character you like, or like you have a favorite character, you have a character you don't like, right? But none of them are real. None of them are real. They're just real in the movie. When the movie is over, those characters do not exist. Those people do not exist at all. Life is the same way. That, you know what I'm saying, Scott? Mistake, that mistake was exactly what you were supposed to do. So it's not a mistake at all. Like you were supposed to do that. That mistake is exactly what you were supposed to do. It's just your, I guess, perception, perspective, your interpretation of the event, and your belief in your interpretation, which is solely based on what makes sense to you. That's what makes it true. And when you believe you made a mistake, that causes suffering. That causes suffering. You feel like you fucked up. That causes suffering. And it's not even real. You didn't make a mistake. You didn't. But your belief creates your reality. You know, that's how powerful your belief is, how powerful your faith is. Your faith creates your reality. It don't matter what you believe. You can believe in anything you want. You can put your faith in anything you want, and it's going to become part of your reality to some degree. You know, you can feel like you are the ugliest person on the planet, and that will be your reality. And you will suffer things like low self-esteem and hopelessness and discouragement and insecurity, all kind of things. Your faith created that reality, although it's a complete lie. And you could believe you're the most attractive person on the planet, or just that you're just really attractive and you're a catch. You're a gem. You're a jewel. Like you could believe you put faith in that, and that will be your experience, even if it's not true, even if you're a piece of shit. Like your personal experience beyond I'm high value. Really, I'm a catch. Yada yada yada. Your faith creates your experience. See this right here. This is the very thing. This is what the watermelon washout is all about. Helping people get past these points like this. Like this is so common. This right here is so common. Everybody can relate to this. I don't know anybody that can. I can absolutely relate. I can relate to it on a much higher level because I haven't heard anyone well, I just well, yeah, I have never heard anyone eat fruit for a whole year and then fall off. Like, imagine how that would feel. Like, just the idea of having to start over after a year, after 365 days, approximately. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine that. You know, Misha did 60 days on juice and went back. Imagine and going back. But what I will say to you, Misha, is, you know, you didn't fall back into bad habits with processed vegan food. You fell back into bad habits with drugs. You're not eating food. That's not what got you. It's drugs. You went back to a drug addiction. You know, that vegan shit is not food. It's drugs. And, you know, if I had more time, if you'd have got on here earlier and you would have, you know, shared this comment earlier on this live, you know, I'd have went deeper into it. But that's what's really going on. I don't have no advice for you, Casper. See, like that's just real interesting. Like, do you really think it's just that easy, bro? Like, do you really think, assuming you were broke, I don't know, but I'm saying, do you really think I could just share one quick, you know, nugget with you, and that's gonna free you from your addiction to alcohol? That's not how it works, bro. If I had anything to share with you, I would tell you join the watermelon washout. Like, you want something like that's the best thing I could give you here to point you in the right direction. But that's a journey. What you're talking about is a journey. There's no quick, hey, what should I do? Just go outside and do 12 jumping jacks, spin around in a circle, do 3 push-ups, and shout, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free. And you like that's it's like people be I don't know, like I don't know. I'm just at a loss of words when it comes to the mentality. Uh, it's like microwave mentality, you know. What can I do? Like you're talking about like an addiction to alcohol. There's so much going on beneath the surface that's responsible for that addiction. There are so many things that you're suppressing that you have to stop suppressing and, you know, confront and heal. There is so much going on there. You know, and I don't know anything about you. I know nothing about the only thing I know about you is that you're addicted to alcohol. That's the only thing. I don't know shit about you. Like, how can I give you advice when I don't know nothing about you? I don't know your history. Like, I don't know nothing. It's a journey, bro. It's a journey. That ain't no overnight. And the watermelon washout would be a great place for you to get the help, the support, the encouragement, the guidance, and the mentoring that you need. Shit, you could definitely Bobby Smith. He just overcame that shit. Bobby Smith was a bad alcoholic. You know what I'm saying? He just overcame not just, but Like it's still pretty fresh, getting free from that addiction. So that would be a great place to start your journey. And on that note, y'all, I'm about to get off of here because I'm about to go work out and lay it down. Let me check Instagram before I leave. I don't want to leave nobody hanging. Nobody's. Yep. So yeah. So on that note, I'm about to get out of here. Y'all all have a good night, and I appreciate y'all for coming on the live. I appreciate the energy, all your questions, all y'all comments. I loved seeing the way y'all were interacting with each other in the comments, especially on YouTube. I just love seeing the love that y'all was giving to each other. That was just really, really dope to see y'all mix and mingle amongst each other, you know. But yeah, hey, what's up, Pinky? I didn't even know you was in here. Pinky, you was quiet. It's quiet this evening. Glad to have you on, though, Pinky. But um, yeah, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate all the energy, all the love, all the support. You know what I'm saying? Um, the energy is great. The energy is like always great. Like on these three platforms. Yeah, hey, y'all have a good night. Y'all all have a good night. I'll be back tomorrow, especially since I'm banned from going live on TikTok. I'll be back tomorrow. You just got on, Nancy. I've been on over 2 hours already. Know what I'm saying? Catch me tomorrow, Nancy. Good night, Rose. Good night, Pinky. Good night, Dylan. Good night, everybody. I'll see y'all tomorrow, hopefully.